Hey guys, what's up? Hey guys, what's up? So this video is going to be me putting more plants in my largest planted tank. I have a few planted tanks, but this one's my biggest and it's one of my favorite tanks. My best friend actually gave me more plants for it. And they're the biggest plants that I've ever had before for tanks, so I'm really excited. She's given me a lot of the plants that I have for my fish tanks, but these ones are crazy. They're pretty badass. I'm really excited about them, and it gives me something to do during this quarantine time, because I don't know about you, but I'm really bored and I really want to go see her and hang out with her. I ended up getting a drive there, and I had something for her too, which was this. I made it for her for Easter, but when I got a drive there, I just gave it to her, she gave me the plants, and I left. We didn't get to hang out, which really sucked. I really miss seeing her and hanging out with her, but better be safe than sorry, I guess. But I had a lot of fun putting them in the tank, and I can't believe how big they are. Like, I honestly cannot believe how big they are. They're awesome, and I'm going to be making videos too eventually of me putting more plants in my smaller planted tanks, because now that these plants are in this tank, I don't have very much room in it anymore, and I like them to have a lot of space to grow out and get a lot of the light, so I'm probably going to be switching some plants around, but for now this is how I have it. So if you notice that there's one lone cardinal tetra in there, it's because I got it as a rescue, and due to the fact that the entire country is on lockdown, I can't go out and get it some friends. If you didn't know, most tetras do not like being alone. They're schooling fish, so they like to have a lot of their kind to swim around with and chill out with. But I have a lot of guppies in there, so I'm hoping for the time being it'll be okay. But I will soon, once I can, be getting it some friends. So I just wanted to be putting that out there in case anyone notices. So the substrate I'm using is actually really weird. Some people might not approve, but it's actually sand from my local beach. I live by fresh water, not salt water, and I noticed that the plants growing out of this sand by my beach do really good. So last year I did an experiment. I'm going to be making a video soon about how to do this and what I did. But I took a little bit of sand, brought it home, sterilized it, cleaned it, and put it in a little tank, put some random little plants in there and some feeder fish, tested the water every day. The fish, the water, and the plants were all doing amazing. So I'm like, wow, this really works so good. So then I put it in all my planted tanks, and all the plants always do amazing. People ask me a lot of times on Instagram, this is my Instagram if you want to check it out, how my plants are doing so well, and that's usually what I tell them. It's the substrate. I don't use anything fancy, no CO2, no root tabs, nothing like that to keep my planted tanks running, but I do use from Seacam, I use their iron and I use their flourish. These two things I also recommend whenever people ask me how my plants are doing so good. They work amazing, and I also put them in the water that I water my indoor plants with, and it also makes them do amazing too. It's safe for fish, and I highly recommend it. Those are my favorite things to use. You can go all fancy and stuff, but this is what I've had really good luck with, and I think the sand works so well because it's natural. It's not man-made. It's not a man-made sand or man-made gravel. It's literally all natural. So I think that's one of the reasons why it works so good, and it's very heavy, so it keeps your plants rooted, and if you have fish that like to dig them up, it's really hard for that to happen. So something that you're going to really want to remember with using any kind of sand or any kind of gravel from wherever you're getting it, pet store or not, is to move it around. When it's in the tank, you want to move the sand around at least once a week. And what I like to do is get a chopstick and kind of poke around and stir a little bit around, being careful of the plants, because if you don't do that, what's going to happen is pockets of detritus and gas are going to get stuck in the sand or the whatever you're using, and it's going to be really deadly to your fish and your tank if they decide to stir it up themselves or too much gets stuck there. It's not really good, and it's not safe for your tank. So just every once in a while, just kind of stir it up a little bit. That's what I like to do. So the fish I have in this tank is two female betta fish, and I have a lot of different kind of guppies, like show guppies, feeder guppies, but I don't use them as feeders, that's just what they're known for, and Colombian guppies. There's a bunch of babies too. They breed like crazy, so I'm really excited to see what the babies will turn up to be like. I'm always excited for that. They're always crazy wild colors, but I really hope you like this video, and let's get to it. So normally I like to use my Python tube for draining my tanks, but because this tank is small and has small fish in it and plants, I like to use this smaller sucky tube right into a bucket and then make sure there's no fish or plants in there, and then I have the Python tube draining the bucket, so it works out pretty good. When I said these plants are big, I was not kidding. If I put this plant up to my hip, it goes all the way to the ground. That is crazy. So this plant in the middle, she actually gave it to me when it was a little baby, and it's grown so much. I'm so proud of it. So I'm switching some of the elastic bands around that are holding these together because they're different colors, and I know that'll bug the shit out of me seeing a pink elastic band in there, so I just had to change them all to black. I'm not too sure how these are going to do in here. They're new. She's the one she gave me also, but I'm really hoping that the iron and flourish supplement are going to help them. I really hope so. These are what I'm going to be using, and they're my favorite. So iron and the flourish. They're literally so good. Highly recommend. So this is the most important step if you do a water change on your tank. There's chlorine in your tap water, so you're going to want to remove that, and you're going to want a dechlorinator. I use Prime, that's my favorite. This is the first piece of wood that I tried to put in there, but it did not work out very well, and it ended up ripping up like half the plants. So I took this one out of my Shabunkin tank, and it actually worked amazing. I wanted something that some of the plants can kind of wrap around so they don't just chill at the top of the tank, and it ended up working out really well. So if you have any ideas of videos you want me to make, then please let me know on here or on Instagram. And thank you to my best friend for giving me these plants. I really, really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you help me grow this. But I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye guys!